Dude, what the fuck happened with the camera? It can't be. Can't be. What happened now? What happened now with the camera? Well. Oh, it's gonna be like that. Okay. It's just gonna be like that. Let me see if I can just oh. Okay. Let me see if I can just disable this, maybe? Cancel. Okay. Give me just a sec. Just a sec. I don't know why this is happening. Maybe if I reset this, it's probably the program. Let's hope this gets better with a restart. Let's see. I'm very sorry. Trying. Retry. I think now that it should be fine. At least you can hear me now, I think. Right? Okay, video capture properties. Dude, I love me some technical difficulties. Okay, Logitech video. NVIDIA broadcast. Okay. Nope. Okay, yeah, this is my regular camera. Let's check. This over here. No, I'm so sorry. But I have... Dude, I promise today you're gonna like it because I have so many things to show. Or, well, it's not so many. I have like one. But it's very, very good. Yeah, let's see over here. Retry. Yeah, I'm gonna do NVIDIA broadcast again. Retry. Dude, this can't be. This can't be. Video capture device. Let's just disable. Why am I showing up on screen? Why am I showing up on screen? The camera is desactivated. The camera is literally desactivated. What if I... Okay. It is working, but the camera is not activated. So whatever. Hello and welcome to another stream. Yeah, let me put this camera over here. And now it's a little silly thing, but now we have audio, or at least music, separated from the game, or from the audio computer. So or the computer audio. So that's good. Let's see, Green G, you say hello again. Been quite some time. Yeah, it's been quite a while. How are you? How is everything going, Green G? And Nick, you say, well, I love the UI. It's in place of keyboard. A lot of technical difficulties. And you can say so is over here too. Well, first of all, hello Nick, hello Michal, hello Green G, and hello, you can say so. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna be showing you what I've cooked for this week of development progress, because you're gonna like it. Let's see. First of all, let me roll the changes back. Like, let's open GitHub over here. Waypoint, what's up? Hello, welcome. And you say, I changed my user from cheesy guy, I think, that to Waypoint. Okay. So you're cheesy. You have to go. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just please tell me if you can hear me. Because what am I seeing here? Let's update this. What are you guys seeing? Okay, yeah, it's fine. And you can hear me too? Yeah, you can. All right. Yeah, so what I was doing is I don't want to show you a lot of what's happening here now. So I'm just going to do main, and I'm going to roll to the history. I'm going to roll back to a previous version. You can hear my cat. What cat? There's no cat over here. So I'll do a checkout commit, because I really want you to see how this looks before the changes and after them. Rude? Why? Okay, while this waits, let me explain why I'm so excited about what I'm going to be showing you today. Well, basically, I've been for a lot of time, like, just setting the core of the game, as I've been saying. Like, I've been saying this for months, because I literally been doing this for months, just setting the core of the game, in terms of functionality, like how's it going to work. But visuals were really always set to something that was not priority. So I always prioritized, not the looks, but how it feels and how it plays. And well, the feels, how it feels, it's also related to how it plays, but or to how you experience it. But well, it's interconnected. But I was just doing the core of this. So let's see how this looks like. This is the regular game that we have. This is the latest version that is public on itch.io. So you guys should be able to play this version, and you guys have tried this. But today, I want to show you something that I did, because I changed the way the player looks for what will be the final look of the mage. And I would like to just like show you what's gonna be, or what I thought of the visual style of the game, because what I'm gonna be showing you now is going to be the final look. Maybe there will be some tweaking and some little changes, but the art style is going to be that. So yeah, you can see here, this is the previous version. Now I'm going to roll the changes back to what I have them. I just want you to see, this is the character now, because it is quite a change. It is quite a change. So yeah, let's go over here. I'm just gonna go on GitHub, and let's go to the main branch. Now, it's not like hyper realism or anything. Don't expect hyper realism. This game never wanted to be hyper realistic. Yeah, let's wait for this to load now. You say, yeah, UE6 graphics expecting? No. Well, if you're very poor, I can give you some stars while this loads. And let me throw some bombs while we're at it. Okay, ready? Because, dude, I freaking love this. This is just for the player. I plan to apply the same visual art style to all the rest of the game, and I'm currently in the process of doing that. I'm going to explain you more of what I'm currently working on this week and next week, so you can have a little bit of an idea of how these changes are going to be rolled. So let's get into full screen. Dude, I'm so excited. Let's get into full screen. And this is the look of the mage. This is the new look of this guy. You can see there's a shader. Dude, I love the texturing, because it's just a little bit more detail, like in terms of how much polygons or triangles you have. It's not that much, but the texturing, it's a limited texture made by 256 by 256. You can see there's some details there, like patches. Like, this is gonna be your starting attire, so it is kind of messed up because it's like worn, you know. This is what you start with, but yeah, you can see, and this is how it looks over here. I'm gonna step into the light, because currently we are in a little bit of darkness over here. So let me step into the light. This is how it looks. I know it has a little bit of contrast, and like a lot of contrast with the environment, because I haven't applied the look to the environment. But you can see there is lighting ramps, which you can see how the shadows, instead of being a gradient, they are like clumped together. So it's like very, I don't know, it's like a cool way of doing lighting. And you can see that this guy has some physics on its robe. You can see it's gonna be moving, so it's not just another match and materials. It's also like I literally had to remake or rework the clothing system for this to work, because now things have bones on them, so they can move a little bit. And yeah, I just love it. I like to know what you think about this. But I generally just love this because I what I'm striving for here is like something that's a little bit more atmospheric. We're gonna have more detail. We're gonna be applying this look to all of the rest of the game. And yeah, this is the first attire. This is the first attire, and I'm very proud of it because I've never done this before. But I think it turned out quite good. I like the texturing. And the fact that it's limited to 256 by 256, dude, you don't know how small that is for a texture. So it's quite performant, and the look is, I just like it. Yeah, so what do you think about it? I personally like very much the movement. I think it's a very, very subtle thing. But just having a little bit of movement on the pieces of clothing makes everything not feel as stiff as it was feeling before, because it kind of felt like you were moving a block or you were a block, but now it feels like it has a little bit more weight and it feels more real, you know? Asnoke is over here, says, yo, what's up, Asnoke? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? And yeah, I haven't really changed anything else, to be honest. Like I've spent what 2-3 days working on this, because it has like the shader itself, I had to expand it for Fresnel. Let me show you how it looks when you get hit now, because I expanded the shader. I got the shader somewhere else. I didn't make it myself. I just applied the settings. I did the settings or the setup, and I expanded it with Fresnel, which is the thing that allows me to like have a not an outline, but you're gonna see like when you get hit, you have that color on you that had to be expanded. And maybe it's a little bit too bright now, because the colors were thought for another shader, so maybe I'll have to make the brightness go a little bit away, maybe. But yeah, that's how it looks now. Yeah. Now, there are multiple things that are going to be broken now, because it just doesn't work anymore with the previous. Let's see what happens if I try to equip something. Yeah, if I try to equip the iron helmet, for example, it's just not going to work very well. Like, it's just going to start breaking stuff. So I'll need to remake the other pieces of clothing, which I probably won't do. What I'll do is I'll make other pieces of clothing that will be in the final game. And you can say it looks fire though. Well, thank you. You can say Mage put on the drip. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so even though it's not a lot of changes for this week, during the next week you're gonna poop your pants, because we're gonna have like all of the environment is going to be remade. We're gonna finally, or well, I kind of got used to this map a little bit, but we are gonna do another environment. So it's no longer going to be this. Let me just restart. Yeah, so it's no longer going to be the map that you have over here. It's gonna be changed, because I want to basically do my own pieces in terms of the matches that I'm going to be using for the map are going to be different, custom made for this, which are honestly going to be even simpler than this, but they're gonna look better just because I'm going to be doing some texturing and stuff. So I'm very, very excited to do that too, and be able to show you that. You say no. Oh, what happened? Should have bet with more skill, man. Or skill. You lost all your money. Okay. So yeah, that is what I have to show you for the game. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do more things, but this took a lot of time just to set up and doing the modeling. Well, first the design, modeling, texturing. Dude, doing the rigging was not hard at all. But weight painting, dude, is very, very bad. Weight painting is one of the worst things ever. But yeah, I had to do that, then import to Unity, set it up with the bones and whatever. So it is a lot of work, but now I know the workflow, so it's gonna be way easier to do these pieces for more clothing. And I plan to have, I'm not sure how many pieces of, or how many sets of clothing we're gonna have in the game, but I plan to have at least 10 and probably 15. And if I have a lot of time, I'll do like 20. And you say, I wonder how it will run comparatively. These chairs are not very heavy. I think it will run worst. But not by that much. Maybe 1 frame difference, 2 frames at most. But remember that when I do the changes, these shaders are not very heavy, and also the matches themselves of the environment are not going to be that heavy. What's going to be adding a little bit of more computational need or graphical use is going to be the textures that I do, and those themselves are not going to be very detailed. Like, remember, these things are 256 by 256. Your computer can run that no matter what sort of potato you have in you're running your OS on. You're gonna be able to run this. If you were able to run the previous version, you are gonna be able to run the game. Say that to my 5 frames. Well, you're gonna be running it at 4, but some beautiful 4 frames. You know, it's not the same. Well, you're gonna be testing that yourselves when. Well, yeah, let me tell you about it, because I have registered all of the tasks, or at least the most important things, for. Yeah, for version 3.x. So all of the things that need to be in the demo, basically. So here I have 11 tasks that I plan to do during. Well, I plan to. I probably will be working non-stop from here to next fest. So that's 10 weeks. But yeah, I basically plan to have these things, all of these tasks, done in like next week, or probably first day of then the week that comes after the next week. Unreal Engine 6 Switch when? No. Say my lab only accepts 8-bit. We're screwed then. You can say, so you say, wait, does it run on OpenGL or Vulkan? I don't know. Whatever Unity runs on. Need to say, yeah, okay, so visual changes this update cycle, yeah. Yes, that's right. So it's gonna be, I'm first gonna be tackling, well, I tackled the player model visual rework, the clothing system rework, because now they work with bones. What I'm gonna be doing next is region 1, terrain and layout. Like, I think I'll do the layout of the game. I'm not sure how much of it I'll do, but I will probably have a rough idea of what the layout's going to be for the final game, and I'll just build one area, because now I'm just working towards having a demo for next fest. So yeah, it's just gonna be one region, but it's gonna be mostly complete. It will lack some content, some content, but it's gonna be mainly complete in terms of what the final game is gonna be like. It's just gonna be one region. It's DX probably by default. You can say, so you say, can't you like choose between options when you first make the game, like in Godot? I think I could. I'm not sure. I'm not even aware of those where those options are. Yeah, my camera is boing. But yeah, it's because the stand is wobbly. You say second non-test map is a good excuse for a main menu. I won't be doing the main menu now. Like I have 5 sprints planned. Each one of those sprints is going to take roughly 2 weeks. So we're gonna be yeah, every one of those sprints I'm going to release a version on each, like every 2 weeks. But it's not going to be like finalized versions. It's going to be like a build-up of a version. So yeah, for the first sprint, we're gonna do region 1 terrain and layout. Like I'm just gonna do like the terrain itself, not really putting anything in it yet. Then I'll do settlement, one of the first settlements, and I have to think about how the liberation flow is going to work, because I want to have some NPCs after you liberate a settlement. Like you beat the enemies over there, and once you're done there, you are gonna get a new spell, and then it needs to be populated with NPCs. So once you liberate a zone, NPCs are going to like start living there, and you're gonna be able to go to some shops. Like maybe there's gonna be like one shop each on each settlement. There are gonna be some separate things on each settlement, but the main thing is all of the settlements after liberation are going to have 1 or 2 merchants that you can like trade stuff with them, and you're gonna be able to teleport there. So once you liberate them, you can teleport there. And Regger is over here, says hello guys. What's up, Regger? Welcome to the stream. And Nick, you say the defaults are somewhere hidden in preference for Unity. Damn it. You can say, so you say, because Vulkan runs much smoother. Well, I think maybe you can have, or I can make it so you have an option when you launch this on Steam, because I probably will do this for release. So yeah, when you want to launch the game, you choose if you want to use Vulkan or whatever you want. And Nick, you say, I felt born. Why? And Miho, you say, not winter there this time around. Yeah, it's not. At least here it's not very cold anymore. At least today. And Nick, you say, I like that idea. And since you'll be doing that, I'm free to play with stuff. I'll try modding in the near future. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I think you'll have more fun now that there are bones in the clothing. No, but for real, it's like super simple to set more. Well, I don't know what you want to add. But if you wanted to add things to the game, for example, it's not going to be that difficult, because the only thing that you would have to do is you would have to create a clothing item asset, like a strip-table object, and it's gonna ask you for a prefab. So if you have that prefab, it's gonna make that prefab basically be in the corresponding piece. You can put whatever model in the torso, head, wherever, and it's just going to work. So you can literally like make a banana model and put it as a hat in Mega Mage. Okay, yeah. So then after doing the minor settlement and having that like figured out, I will do a day and night cycle, which is super exciting. I've never done something like this before, but I do have an idea. It's gonna work basically like in Breath of the Wild. One more thing that I'm stealing from that game, because it's awesome. I plan to have like a 24-minute cycle So every day is gonna last 24 minutes. On 16 of those minutes, you're gonna be in like daylight, and the other 8 is gonna be a little bit darker. But I don't want it to get super dark, like realistically dark. No, it's just gonna be darker. And I have a lot of things to do with post-processing there. But yeah, day-night cycle, 16 minutes of light and 8 minutes of darkness. And I do plan to have some things happening during the dark, but I'm not going to disclose a lot of those things because those things are going to be coming in the future. But one thing that I can tell you now is that I plan to have like variety, but yeah, like variants of some enemies that can only appear at night. So if you want to beat like super hard enemies or just the dark variety or variant of that enemy, you can do that at night. And I don't plan to have that many enemies, if I'm honest. Maybe 6 enemies or 8 enemies. Maybe I know it's gonna be less than 10. And no less than 6. But the variety is going to come from like having dude, I'm not sure how that word even is said. Yeah, but basically having variants, whatever it is, just straight of the enemies. So instead of just having one enemy, it's gonna be that same enemy with the same behavior, but maybe they're gonna be like six versions of that enemy that you can encounter throughout the game. So totally with all the variety, whatever, is gonna be a lot more, you know. But that make variety, yeah. Thank you. You can say so. But that makes it so I can really take time making sure that every enemy that we have in the game is cool on itself. But it's not going to be super flat like all of the enemies always, because there will be variants of them. And you can say, so you say, if you ever like question why I told you to wish me luck that day. And you say, I got my baccalaureate the other day, by the way. What is that? You can say so. And Godfather is over here. Says Haveno. What's up, Haveno, Godfather? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? Vasoconstriction. That sounds like a medical condition or something. Okay, yeah, then I'm going to revisit the... Oh, and Godfather, let me tell you, let me show you something. So this is gonna be the new look of the player character. Do you like it? So it's a new model, and the cool thing about this is that now the bones, or well, the clothing has bones, so it moves with you. So this is gonna be the final look of the game. It's just applied to the player for now, but this is gonna be the look. So I'm going for a little bit of pixelization, lighting ramps, and just a little bit more detail, but it's not very detailed. And there is some texture now. We didn't really have texture anywhere in the game before. Now we're gonna finally have some texture, and yeah, that's it. And Godfather, you say, that's great. Well, I'm very glad that you like it. And you can say, so you say, it's an academic degree. Oh. Well, congrats, dude. Congrats. I'm not aware of what was the baccalaureate or even how to pronounce it. But good on you, dude. Good on you. Yeah, back to the Notion. I'll have to revisit the spells, because yeah, as you can see over here, it is the same. Like as I said, like all of the other things are still the same. I have to change how the spells look, not how they behave, because the behavior is set. It's just how they look. So they are like, they have the same vibe as the world, you know. Then what else? Doing an idle animation for the player because we don't have an idle animation. Then I'll see if I do. I'm not yet sure. But for example, when you walk sideways, instead of just having the same walking animation, I will try to do, and I'll just add it if it looks fine. But I'll do that instead of like just moving forward as if you were walking forward, like just having animation for walking sideways and backwards, so it looks a little better. You can say, so you say, will be there a wave system in the future, not like just swarms? I think it's I can't really say yes or no, because I still have to know how the settlements and the battles in the settlements are going to work. But it's going to be less as waves. It's going to be more as planned battles, or yeah, it's going to be different. It's just going to be different. Maybe in some places, like when you're at the last spot of a fight in a settlement, maybe there will be like a wave or something. Or maybe in some boss battles, there will be waves of enemies as part of the battle. But it's not going to work like it works now. This is going to get kind of scrapped. Not completely scrapped, but kind of. So it's going to be very different from what it is now. But the combat itself is going to work very similarly. And Regor, you say, Roman, what's your opinion on dumplings? They are very tasty. I do like them a lot. I haven't really eaten that much. I haven't eaten that much. Or that many. But they're nice. And you can say, so you say crosswalk. Let's go. And you can say, I will make Roman at least reuse the current system for procedural counter for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I can reuse a lot of things on the system. It's not going to be behaving the same, but for example, I want to do something like when you're wandering around the world, because this is going to be an open world, even though it's not going to be huge. I want to have content around that's like repeatable, and the world needs to feel a little bit dynamic, you know? So I'm just gonna have some points of interest that are going to be battles that you need to do in order to progress in the story and in the game in general. But for example, in someday, just wandering around while walking towards one of those points, you're gonna get a camp of enemies that settled somewhere, and you can like literally see like they have their camp, and you can go like kill them and get some kind of reward because of you killed them. So you can get, I don't know, a piece of clothing or other things that I'm going to be telling you about, like gems that are the passive abilities of this game, coins for you to trade with the merchants in the settlements, and other resources. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, this game is a straight up copy of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so player idle animation. And what am I working on? Let me finish over here, and I'll do a quick overview of what I'm working on. Yeah, doing the directional walking animation, so sideways and backwards. Player movement and combat stamina system, because yeah. So the thing is, here in the game, what you can do now is just dash, you know, and you have like that thing over there, straight up just a copy of Breath of the Wild system. Like, I'm just copying so many things. I'm shameless, okay? But they're gonna work for this game. So the thing is, instead of just having that dash, you are gonna have stamina I still have to try this out. This is not something that is locked into the game. I'm just experimenting with the idea of kind of in Elden Ring or in other Souls games, you can either dash, or if you hold, you're gonna start sprinting. And if you're sprinting while you're in combat, you're gonna use stamina. But when you're outside of combat, you're not going to use stamina. You're just going to run and traverse the map quickly, because since the map is not going to be big, but still is going to be it's going to take a little while to traverse. If you want to walk, if you want to go on foot, it's still going to take a little bit of time. So I want you to be able to run some way or another. I'm not sure about stamina, but I'm kind of sure about being able to run. What's up, Nepal? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Dude, check this out. Here we have it. This is going to be the final look of the game. I just applied the look to the character first because I wanted to try everything over there with the character. So everything else is not really... it doesn't really have the same art style. But here you have a sneak peek of what the world's gonna look like, with the shaders, with the way I do texturing, with the model, level of detail, and also things are a little bit more, or a little bit less stiff, more dynamics, so you can have a little bit more movement on the clothing, for example. Say, bro, this looks so lit. Thank you. I think you're gonna like a lot when I do all of the things. So yeah, let's do an overview of what I'm gonna be working on for the next, this weekend, and probably next week, and probably weekend too. So it's just making everything be, or have the same style that the player has right now, because that's the final style of the game. Because all of the other things, and for example, the assets that I'm using for the map now are just like placeholders from Kenny's. They're good for prototyping, but it's not really the look that I was going for. It never was. But yeah, it's just first upgrading the terrain, like putting it up to the same style and same level of detail and whatever that the player now has. Then doing a settlement, the first of the settlements, just so I can it's not so much about gameplay, but just getting the looks and the feels right, so I can have a workflow, like I can make a workflow of how I'm going to be building the assets for the game, and I'm sure about that. Then adding the day and night cycle, pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be a 24-minute loop. 16 of those minutes are going to be day, 8 of those minutes are going to be night. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of changes, but yeah, day-night cycle. And that includes post-processing and whatever effects I plan to use. Then I'm going to revisit the spells to make them be visually up to the same standard as I have with the player. Then more post-processing. Then I'll see if I add an animation for the player idle. Yeah, I will have an animation for player idling. I'll try to do, I still have to know, or I still have to check how that's gonna look, but basically do directional walking. So for example, when you're walking forward, that's the only way it's gonna look fine, because yeah, you're walking forward, the animation is forward. But when you're walking sideways, I want to do some sideways animations too, so it is fine. And backwards too, so it is very dynamic and it adjusts to what you're doing actually. Then after that, last couple of things are just trying the stamina thing that I mentioned before, which is basically making you have a stamina, and if you want to dash, you're gonna be using that stamina. And if you want to sprint, you're gonna be using it too. But the key thing about that is that if you want to run, you're just going to hold instead of just stopping. And if you are outside of combat, you are not going to use stamina for running. Why? Because I just want you to be able to run as much as you want when you're outside of combat, because you're gonna be traversing the world. So infinite stamina for you. And then we have enemy visual design. So it's basically making one more enemy, or like making an enemy for the game that has the same style. So it's basically setting all of the things that are in the game, just making one of each in the style of the game. So I have a workflow of how to do all of the rest of the things when I plan to do that. So once I finish all of these things, I will have another version out. It's probably gonna be one of the most boring versions of the game, because it's just gonna be a visual upgrade, and there's not going to be a lot to do. But you're gonna get a little bit of a sense of what the final game is going to look like. And yeah, that's the plan for the next week or week and a half. You say, Gregor, I love the new character design so much. Oh my lord. Well, thank you, thank you. It took a while, but it is fine now. It has been worth it. I'm just gonna leave you with... I'm just gonna disable that particle, because it's very, very annoying. Let's see, where is this? I just want you to appreciate the new character in all of its glory. And I think it looks even cooler when you're a little bit closer, or a little bit farther away, because it pixelizes a little bit more. Yeah, I use Blender. Let me show you. Well, if you want to see, dude, the shader in here is doing a lot of work. You're gonna see. Let me see. Open recent player clothing. Don't save this. This is how it looks in Blender, by the way. It's not crazy. This is the model. And I made so... Yeah, these things are separate pieces, so it's not a lot of polygons. They are just joined, but they are made out of very primitive shapes in most places. I can show you the mesh. So it's not very complicated. It's just the bones that make it look more dynamic, or like more detailed. And once you add a little bit of texture, which is super low res. Yeah, let's go over here. Yeah, the texture, you can see over here that it doesn't look as good as it looks on the game. And I made purposefully, I made it so it's a little bit lighter over here, because once I apply that shader, like it kind of bring a lot of shadows into the design. So I made it just everything a little bit lighter, so when that darkness comes, it doesn't look like black, you know? Is that Notion? Yeah, it's Notion. So I can't wait to do a gameplay stream for this. Yeah, dude. Well, I plan to have a demo in 2 months. If you can wait those 2 months, you're gonna play like the demo that everyone will be able to play. Otherwise, I'll be releasing a version which is not going to be like feature complete, but I'm gonna be releasing a version kind of like every 2 weeks. You can say so. You were saying something. You can say so. Let me get your... You have no shame. Yeah, that was your last message. You say see ya. You're leaving. You can say so. Well, bye bye. Take care and see you next time. And Gregor, you say, can I play Mega Mage on a blender? Like the kitchen blender. If you're able to mod it into a blender, I would be impressed. Super impressed. You can say, so you say, I envy you that you can just pull Blender that way. I had it open, to be honest. I had it open. Imagine this, every streamer playing Mega Mage. We're making history here. Dude, I would love it. I would love it. It would be great. I'm just gonna start spamming spamming content creators when I have the demo. And as long you say, just have a question. How much time it take the game to complete? The game is going to take it's probably going to be mostly complete exactly by the end of the year. But I don't plan to release by the end of the year. I plan to release in the first quarter of next year. Just so I have a lot of time to play test and make sure that there are no game-breaking bugs. The optimization is fine. Yeah, dude, making games takes a lot of time. In the next 2 months, I will have a demo. But the demo is not content complete. It's just one region out of the 5 that I want to have. And there's like generally a lot of content that I still have to do. So yeah, it's gonna be the whole development cycle since I started is probably going to take a year and 3 months, which is not crazy if you compare it to other games. And BSM says, hi, I haven't commented in 6 months, so you probably don't remember me. No, I do remember you, but 6 months? I think that's a little bit too much. I think you have commented here before, not that long ago. Maybe a little long ago, but not that long ago. So, hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so as you can see, like the textures over here, like those details that I have on here, for example, on the texturing side, on this like pouch that you have on the side, it's like just 1 pixel because the texture itself is so small that it doesn't let me go with more detail. But then when I apply the shader, that let me get a little bit over here so I can get a little bit of light going on there. You can see that it looks like if that was a shadow, you know. And the same thing applies for the belt, for example. The belt looks like it has a little bit of brightness, like if it was like a metal thing, but that's baked into the texture. Like that's just texturing. It's not a material. Yeah, I can show you the rig, you can say so. Let me show you the rig. It's very, very simple. The complicated part is just the weight painting. And I can show you the weight paint too. Let's go over here. And let's do wireframe. Let's select the bones. It's better if I just go into object mode. Yeah, this is literally the all the bones. That's all the bones. You can't even see this from here. And Asnok, you say no, don't release it on November or December because GTA 6 is real. Yeah, the game's not going to be ready. Yeah, it's probably going to be ready on. Yeah, like just finishing the year, like maybe last days of December. But I plan to release during next quarter or next year, first quarter. And I have progressed very far. Like I think, well, here you can see I just applied the final look of the game to the player, but I still have to apply the final look to everything else, and like basically do the map of the game. But in terms of gameplay, like everyday gameplay, or like the 80% of the gameplay is done. So it's just about adding more content or at least the systems of the gameplay is done. So it's just about adding more content and expanding the world, and we're done. But that takes a lot of time. But dude, if you join in like 2 more weeks, I think you're gonna be blown away by how much progress it looks like I've done. Because I've done a lot of progress, but there's not a lot of things to show. But I think in the next 2 weeks, there is going to be a lot to show. Yeah, let me show you the weight painting. I wanted to show you that. Need to say, it's the 6th month of this year? God damn. Where did this year go? Dude, I say the same. I've been just working, but the year has literally flown. In Godfather, you say, Roman, did you like Dios? Like, you mean God? I'm not a religious person, and I'm how do you call it? Like atheist? I don't follow any religion. But it's fine. Whatever religion you have or you believe in, like that's fine. I have various family members and, well, not family members specifically, or well, yeah, but other friends and people that I know that have different religions, and it's just like one thing that I like about religion is that for some people it's very good, even though I don't believe in it. You know, like do you, and if that makes you better, then good for you. And that's great. Now, so you say, I know, but no games are releasing in November except GTA 6. Yeah, I've seen a lot of games got pushed to the month prior or after because of GTA 6. And if I were to release the game, or if I was able to release a game in November, I wouldn't do it, because it's like you're just gonna get swallowed by the competition, which in this case is literally the most anticipated game of history, I would say. And BSM, you say, can I suggest a mini boss or like a starter boss? I'll have just like 3 bosses maybe, but yeah, you can suggest them, of course. And also, you say, Q, how much will GTA 6 cost? I don't know. No one knows really. Wait, that had an overreaction. Okay, so my idea for the starter boss is, let me pull Notion so I can register this over here. And Gregory say, all right now, Roman, I'll go now on a dangerous journey to buy and gather 3 cups of Ben & Jerry's ice cream in my local Walmart. See y'all. I might be able to see y'all again today. Well, bye-bye, Gregor. It was a pleasure having you here, and good luck on your journey to get some Ben & Jerry's. Enjoy the Ben & Jerry's, and I'll see you next time, because I think we're ending stream here, or like very, very, very soon. Let me just note the idea from BSM, and I think we're done. So boss idea, Moss Mayhem. Let me note that over here. So you say, a boss which spawns in the start while you walk into a garden of damp grass. You walk in and a giant moss pile rises up. The boss mainly uses physical attacks but steals moss from the environment, I guess you said. From the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll do something like that, but I will be taking this into consideration when I'm designing stuff. So maybe I can do maybe not exactly the same as you are explaining here, but maybe something close, or maybe some of their variations of a boss may be related to Moss. But thank you for the idea, dude. Really appreciate it. It's lagging. Well, it doesn't literally have to be at the spawn, but maybe in the starter area. Okay, yeah. So for the ones of you that want to see the wave painting and the nightmare that was wave painting, let me just show you. Let me go into object mode, because what you have to do to wave paint is you select the bones first, then you select the match, and then you can go over here. You can go wave painting. Yeah. So the thing over here is like everything that's blue is not going to move. The closer to red this is, the more affected by the selected bone it is. So for example, if I do, dude, the shortcuts that you have to learn, it's Control Shift Select to select the bone in weight painting mode. And you can see, for example, this bone is gonna have a lot more effect on the areas over here. Then you have the bone in the middle, which affects more of the middle, but it has less strong effect over them. And then the bone over here, which is basically not a lot of effect, and it's just in the middle. And that makes it so I can just have things wobbling and wibbling all over the place. No multiplayer. No multiplayer. No, BSM, you say, okay, have bad grammar though. No worries, no worries. As long as I understand it, it's fine. If I see at spawn, if I see a boss at spawn, I'll just know Asnog is cooked. Yeah, the game is not going to be multiplayer. At the beginning, I thought of the idea of making the game multiplayer, but it's gonna be not just a technical difficulty of applying multiplayer to this, but it's going to be like hard to balance. Maybe I'll leave that up to the modding community if there is one, hopefully. And yeah, there will be modding support in this game. I plan to, when I have the game ready, I am going to be trying to make all of the game like as moddable as possible, or as easy to mod as it can be. So yeah, if you want to mod it, it's not going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, yeah, so that's it for today. That is it for today. And why did we have such... It's not that deep to have this music. Okay. Yeah, that is it for today. Thank you for joining. And dude, next week, I think you will like to join next week, because I'll be doing the things that I told you I was going to do. So yeah, wish me luck. I hope it's gonna look incredible. And bye bye. Take care. See you next time. Bye Nick. Bye BSM. Bye Mihol if you're here. Bye Godfather. Bye Asnok. Bye Regger if you're still here. Bye, you can say so. Bye Nepal if you're still here. Bye bye.